Yo, what's good, guys? You're listening to another episode of Redefined Gospel Sounds with myself, Success. We're good. It's another episode. We're alive and well. We thank God. All them things there. Today we have another wonderful woman of the Lord. She's there. She's there with the new braids and that. She's even the teeth is even showing everything. She has the swaggy glasses on. Is none other than Becca Folkes in the building. How are you doing? Chat to me.
I'm fine, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's not, in fact, maybe it's not even Becca Folkes. Maybe it can be Becca Banks. Sorry, it can be Naomi Folkes.
Yo!
Yeah. We're gonna catch it. Yeah. But this fashionista thing, if you have the visuals, if you're watching the visuals, you can even see the glass. You can see she even tells it, you can even see the glass that she's wearing. When she came in, she wanted somebody that knows what she's talking about. But yeah, in terms of like the whole fashion aspect, you dress very, very well. I'm sure you know that you dress very, very well. And I feel like obviously we know that Christians can dress, but sometimes, this it's not always pushed in such a way. How did you learn to dress? Because I feel like people could actually how did you actually learn how to dress?
I mean, it helps that my mum knows how to dress. Growing up in church, women in our church, it was like skirts and dresses only. So with that being the only two options, you have to learn how to make it work. You have to experiment with prints and colours and shapes and cuts. And so my mum, growing up to present day, is still very, very good at giving body yaddy or giving shape and colour and mix and match. So I think just her dressing me obviously as a little girl and then giving me the space to dress myself, and I don't know, I guess like being aware of what's in, what's current as well, but trying to make something my own as well. And I think the last thing is growing up as a tomboy, like I played football in all sorts. I was about trainers from early anyway, like the best football boot or AstroTurf trainers or whatever. And so I think now that I have my own money and wisely, I can buy, trainers, whether big designer or common Air Force or whatever, which is £100 and something, but we'll talk about that a different day. Ridiculous.
I saw 170 plus. I said, Lord, if you want me to know that the end time is near, then maybe it's going to be because of shoe price. Okay. It's very, very
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
But we'll let it go for now.
We have to.
Let it go for now. But yeah, I guess that mixed in with understanding my femininity more and womanhood just helps me explore with shapes and cuts and everything my mum did. It's carried on through me, I guess. I'm
quickly intrigued. You said he played football. What position did he?
Right back.
Hey.
In primary school and for like the team I played for, which was coincidentally Harold Hill Youth.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey,
when I was like 10, 11.
Why did you stop?
Peer pressure, secondary school, wanting to become more girly and be liked by boys. And then I went into netball. But then I was on every team in school, rounders, basketball. Even if I wasn't the best, I have the ability to just pick up quickly. So I was on all the teams, athletics, cross country. My stamina was appalling. It was a shocker. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I'd say peer pressure.
Cool. So sports was there. Obviously, we know you more prominently as an artiste, as a musician. Where did music come into the equation? Was it always there? Where was that for you? Was it popped out of the room and you were there writing in your songbook?
Sorry. No, I mean I sang in church, typical Pentecostal black church. They hear just an ounce of talent. Oh, they're gonna push you to like do the solos or to jump on after the adults or whatever. So yeah, grew up singing in kids choirs and children's church choir and all that kind of stuff. And naturally, as you get older, you move to the next one. So from children's choir to youth choir, which is the teenage choir. Then if you're a young adult, you do both, so the teenage choir and the adult choir, you know, nationally, locally, whatever. So that's how I was trained, you could say, because I didn't have vocal lessons necessarily. But I didn't want to be a singer. I actually didn't want to. I wanted to either be in theatre or sports. That was like my goal leaving sixth form, but God said, haha.
What was the point? What was the point for you when you thought, oh, well, or when you were told, like, yeah, you are, you better, yeah.
Well, I didn't want to go to uni because I was like, all that debt for no reason. And I got in when it was still 3,000 a year. That was the last year, as in, it was 3,000 a year. Now it's, amen. We'll leave that there again.
Please, yeah, thank you. We don't want
Boris,
thank you.
Boris, do something. But yeah, I got ready to go uni. I gave in, like, my head of year was like, you can always leave, like, but I believe you should try. I was like, okay. And then I remember going to a church event and one of my brothers, shout out to Venna, was like, you're not going to finish because ministry is going to pick up and you're going to have to make the choice one day. I was fuming in my spirit because I'm like, I already didn't want to go. And now you're telling me, God, through your son, that I'm not going to finish. So I went anyway. I left that uni because it was more about the history of music opposed to like current day, developing your skills, theory, all that kind of stuff.
So it was music, you studied
music?
Okay.
Yeah, it was a BA in popular music.
Okay.
So I left that uni, took a gap year, recorded my second EP, and then went back to another university called ACM, the Academy of Contemporary Music in Guildford, ministry. And so I had to leave because it was affecting my attendance. So it's either I commit less to ministry and more to uni, or the other way around. And so I chose ministry, and here I am.
If in terms of like the ministry that you do today, if like we were to just stop you on the street, what would you tell us? What would you tell us that you do? If you were to describe yourself as an artist and all that
I'd say I'm a Christian artist. I'd say that's what I do full time, as well as like being a worship leader in my church. That's it.
I want to pick up on that. That's very interesting because we've had people on the platform already that they wouldn't necessarily like to be considered as a Christian artist, but just an artist that just makes music that has Christian message.
Yeah.
So where does that nuance come in as to a Christian artist or likewise?
I think I'm careful not to call myself a gospel artist. I prefer to say Christian artist. Reason being, the day, when it comes by God's grace that I am married and have a sweet one,
Amen.
I'm going to sing about him.
Amen.
I'm going to sing about the sweet kisses and hugs that he's given me. That's not necessarily gospel music. But as a Christian artist, I'm communicating what this love with this man that God has sent me is like. And so I think it's a very fine line, which is why... But if someone calls me a gospel artist, I'm not going to be like,
yeah,
Christian artist, baby.
Yeah.
Please. It's not that deep. So I will still receive you calling me a gospel artist or minister of the gospel. It's okay.
Yeah.
Let's all breathe and
Let's
relax.
actually all breathe.
But I guess that's the only reason why I say Christian artist. And you could be a gospel artist and actually not be Christian.
A lot of people will listen to that and like their heads will be either spun or there's going to be a lot of question marks in their eyes. How so? Like, how would you say that's the case?
Justin Bieber isn't a gospel artist, but he sings about the gospel.
Yeah.
Chance the Rapper is not a gospel rapper, but he's rapped about the goodness of God before. He's had Kiara Sheard on the song.
Yeah.
Beyonce isn't a gospel artist, but she did say yes with Michelle Williams. So you can, because it's a topic matter, it's a message. The gospel is a message that we're trying to convey. And so anyone can do that and go home and be like, F that Jesus thing, man, I just need to get a quick, thing on the gospel chart. You get me?
Yeah.
I want to conquer all the charts, so bam, just bang out a Christian song or a gospel song, call it a day. So I say Christian artist, so it's more my identity. I am a Christian who believes in God, not I sing a certain topic and that's it. Because gospel is it just means you sing that music.
Yeah.
But to be a Christian artist means I'm a Christian who makes art. So that's why.
So on that note, would you be open to, because obviously a lot of your collabs that are out now currently, they're with people that you would consider like, I guess, Christian artists. So say Justin Bieber of the world or Chance of the world. Like,
when is the session? I will be there before you. I will even open up the studio. Give me the keys. Give me all the security codes for the doors. I will make sure security is fed and at their post so that we can have this successful... Are you mad? Listen, I would be there quick, fast and in a hurry.
Because I think that some people... or sometimes the vibe that I get from like people that I talk to you, like, or whoever, I think they would rather like, I don't know if it's a case of like sticking within their circle or whatever, but as in there's a skepticism there. I guess like even if you look at the whole Kanye this thing, like is he not I think there's like skepticism there. So in that sense, I guess it's good that you're. I mean, naturally, like, I think for me anyway. But obviously, you can tell me what you feel like is that. But I feel like from you guys' perspective, it's a thing where like that's doors opening. That one is
it's
like he actually
door.
So I feel like you can't now go and stop the music that God may even be trying to make in your life, like through like such people. But is what it is.
Yeah.
We're gonna take it back to like your childhood growing up. You've kind of already mentioned growing up in church and things like that, but in terms of you and your faith, would you say that was rooted like from there as well, or is that more of a longer winded kind of journey?
Yeah, I'd say I only really like proper became saved in my 20s. I feel like I was coasting for a long time off of the fact that my parents are pastors and I have the ability to cultivate a space or an atmosphere through worship. It wasn't always the anointing. Sometimes it's just, I don't know. Sometimes when people connect, they have that ability to just be stirred and go into testifying in that moment and praising God. But there were times where like I definitely wasn't in prayer or in my word, and it was definitely the gift that would amp up more than the anointing, if that makes sense. So I was coasting for a very long time. Like Sundays is just church in it, like and there, like whatever, youth convention or youth conference, sorry, adult conference, whatever. It's just normal, you know, where the dates fall in the diary. I'm gonna show up and halamashanda and go home and then be at a 16 plus rave in 2 weeks, whatever, rep your country raves, whatever. So I feel like in my 20s was when it was like, all right, sis, you gotta start playing these games now. Like, you have to be decided and make your decision. And even then, because I'd allowed my flesh to do what it wanted to do for so long, it was hard. It was definitely a wrestling and a fighting and a constant battle, even in my mind. But I'd say definitely in my 20s, now being 26, soon to be 27, like, it was definitely a journey and a process. But yeah, I'd say I came to find him in the latter stage of my life so far.
I think having listened to you, you've actually like led worship, performed at my church for like on a number of occasions. I've seen you, and I think something that really stuck with me was, I guess, just how with our faith in general, we can say that we have it on account of like everything that we've been through and everything that we've come through, and that's what makes our faith more real. Because I guess it's easy for us to come and say, oh God, you're this, or like God, you're done that, or like God, like this is your truth to me, unless like such things have actually kind of been experienced. So I know for you, like, childhood growing up wasn't necessarily like the easiest. So how did your kind of your faith strengthen from that, like if it did, and how, like, what was the difficulty there, because there's quite a bit there?
Yeah, so For the listeners or those watching who don't know, I'm very vocal just about my testimony of being molested as a child by the employed childminder's son. And that the grooming was from 3 to 6, and then the actual molestation started from like 6 to 11, or just before I started secondary school. And as you can imagine, what that does to one's mind and heart and soul and belief in God. And so it definitely, people always say it to me now, like when they see me worship or whatever, even down to an event I did a couple of days ago. A woman came to me, her name's Victoria, and she said, I see your history with God by the way you worship. And that means a lot to me, because that's my intention every time, though he knows, his memory is way better than ours, but to show him, listen, I remember and I will never forget what you brought me through. And so it's definitely shaped how I worship. And it's a line I had to learn between it's my identity and it's the reason why. There's a very thin line between the two. I don't say, hi, my name's Becca Folkes and I'm a survivor of childhood molestation. That's not who I am, but it's my reason why. Like, that's not how I introduce myself. That's not my name. That's not my skin. That's not my clothes. That's not what I walk in, but it's a reason why. And I will, if I have to throw on that mantle, that garment real quick, give my godson praise and then throw it off at his feet at the altar, then I'm going to do it. But it's definitely shaped how I worship, how I write, why I do this. Like, it's simply because of the goodness of God. And I don't actually have to give my gift back to him, because it's something he gives without repentance. But I will. So, yeah.
With you, I guess you said that your faith proper like grew and went forth like from like 20s, like 20 onwards, or like 20s onwards. With, I guess, everything that happened in the past, was there at all like a sense of, I guess, like, why God, what the heck is going on? And if so, what, like, how did you manage that? Because I think for a lot of people, and I don't necessarily, and I feel like at points in the church, and I'll speak of the church like as a general body, that I think is very much a thing that gets either brushed over or not. It's not treated with like the appropriate kind of care in terms of like, all things are made you by guys, but obviously like a lot of, like, I guess for you, like a lot of it is, it's things to unpack and treat and deal with, and it's actually trauma. So yeah, how did you kind of deal with that?
Well, I definitely, in my teens, so from 11/12 to 21, I didn't tell anyone. Wow. I didn't tell my family, so my parents wouldn't understand why, like, I was in school telling teachers to shut up, or like just behaving bad, or my grades would dip up and down and up and down. All my teachers said I could have left school with all A stars. I didn't do bad. No, I didn't do too bad. I got A stars, A's, B's, C's. There was a D in there, but we move. Don't judge me. But I could have aced everything, but that's why I always say to my friends, whatever, if they're like little brothers and sisters are acting out, like, talk to them, find out what's going on, because those kinds of things don't just stem from nowhere. There's something that's triggered this change. And so during that time, I hadn't spoken to anyone, and so I was dealing with a lot of going to church and being there, but hating the person that everyone's singing or talking about or preaching about or encouraging people to come to him. Like, why? I came to him and he ain't stopped nothing. Like, I've been under him all my life and he still allowed this to happen. So definitely went through a phase where I was like, yeah, God, don't know. As soon as I get my chance, like, I'm doing my thing. You know the ones where you're a teenager, like, I'm doing my thing. This church, like, I'm going to do my thing. Stupid. But anyway, like, that was legit my mindset. And I think when I confessed to my family and I wrote about it, and then had them surround me and friends surround me, and just that counsel spiritually, it definitely helped me go from that hate to like, no, it was for a reason, it was for a purpose, and even what he allows, he turns for our good, you know. Yeah, I'll leave it there. I don't want to preach it.
You can speak on it. And obviously you kind of, before that, I guess you spoke about beforehand how that, I guess some of it like informs your worship. So it's a pretty flat question to you, but what is worship to you?
I get asked this question quite a bit, and my answer has probably changed so much throughout the years. But I'd say worship is obedience. Like, it's listening to God, it's hearing him and moving accordingly. It's more than the song, the dance, the lyrics, the Spotify playlisting. It's more than the posing for the camera and slaying it to you. No, I'm joking. It's more than that. It's literally living a life yielded to God. Like, and people think it's the big burning bush moments, but it's his voice in the stillness of your day. Like, while you got your headphones in and you're walking, you see a homeless person, you hear something telling you go buy them a meal, but you keep walking. I was that girl. Hello? But when I realised that giving is what we're called to do more than it is to receive, it makes it easier. And some days you're like, God, £3 is going to go on. No, I don't have £10 anymore. I have £7 of my stuff.
It's a bit
Come on.
It's a bit lighter.
I ain't been paid yet from the But in that, there's more than what you were expecting to come. You know, there's more blessings. So it's obedience, it's listening, it's yielding, it's giving your life as Christ gave his.
You lead worship in general. In terms of the music that you would put out, would you describe that as worship music, or how would you describe that specifically? Because there's a...
If I'm honest, I don't. I just release music. Like, I have Baba, which is a slow worship song, and then I have Rhythm, which is house, Control, which is Afro beats, and then I have Honor, which is worship again, and then this album's gonna have praise and then worship and then house and then pop. Like, it's all over the place. It really is. And I try not to limit myself in terms of the genre or the type of beat. Like, listen to what I'm saying. Catch a vibe too, if it's a vibe, but like, listen to the words. So yeah, I don't really like to be like, my niche is I just sing in it. I just sing.
I'm happy you mentioned the album. We'll talk about that later. That's fine. We'll speak about that later because people want to know.
Exodus.
People want to know about Exodus. But you mentioned Baba. I'm happy that you did. I've obviously, like I said, I've been at where you've led worship, and I remember I was you were leading us. I was following along, and then obviously I know that you're Jamaican. So when I was saying you won't need Baba, I said she's on a Yoruba thing. I said, hey, cause I'm a Yoruba boy, innit? I said, so I said Becca's heard that now. I really want to know about, I guess, the process behind that song. What informed it, and like what how that came about.
Oh my gosh, as my good bro here said, and it's because, hey, I don't know, God's plan for me could have been different, but I'm a jammer. I held my hands up. I'm a fraud. I know. Those of you think I'm a Niger girl. No, I'm a jammer. I'm sorry for stealing, for appropriating. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. No, because the amount of people who think I'm African,
really,
because of Baba,
Wow.
Even, to be honest, from before with Control, because I'm speaking pidgin. So they're like, I thought you were Nigerian. I'm like, No.
To be fair, I will put my hand up. As a Nigerian, I believe that we have like a Nigerian complex, that we believe that everybody's Nigerian. Like just automatically. And I'm gonna speak for people because people are gonna say, no, that's not true, but it's true. It's very true. But yeah, no, sorry, you speak.
That is, listen, I don't mind. I will even take it. Yeah, how did Baba come about? I was in prayer and Honor came on, like it was just a random worship playlist I was playing in the back, and I was just improvising to it. And it's like I was praying and I was thinking of like all the different, ain't much, but all the different like languages I knew how to say Father. And so I was doing that and I was just singing. And a lot of songs or refrains or moments that I have in like just intimate time with God, I don't develop them because I believe it's just my interpretation in that moment. Not everything needs to be put to a soundtrack. Yeah. It's between him and I. But that one after, because I'd even like written down the words that I was saying. And so I had everything in English and I was like, I want to put another language in this. No. So at first, if I'm honest, I was like, I'm going to try Portuguese. Okay. He rolled his eyes. I'm just saying.
No, because I know sometimes, there's been a lot of the Spanish thing. I know a lot of men have been, they run the Spanish and it says his, so yeah, that's fine. It's an eye roll of approval, don't worry, it's fine. It's cool.
So yeah, it's going to be Portuguese, but then I was like, actually I'm going to do Yoruba. But that was interesting because not everyone speaks it exactly the same. Yeah. Hey, so that one, I was probably about 8 people that I said, how would you translate this? And then finally came to that one. And even then some people are like, what you say is slightly different. Yeah. And I'm like, as long as you understand, as long as I'm not singing, I look like a fish finger and a portion of chips, that is fine. So that's how Baba came about. And then I just sent the idea to 2 of the guys from my band, who are both called Josh, coincidentally. And yeah, they made it work. And then we got Pastor Kofi Date from Campus Rush Church in Canada. He laid bass. And their guitarist, a guy called Philip, he laid guitar, and boom, that's how we have Baba. Cool. Oh, and Grace Tenner helped me with BVs as well. Shout out to my little sister.
That's awesome. Shout out to that gang. I noticed that not too long ago you got signed.
Yes, I did.
How was life at the label? Shout out the label. How's the label? How have you found it? And what's the is there anything surprising that you found that you're experiencing, I guess, in terms of being on a label and things like that?
Well, yes. Firstly, shouting out my label, Minstrel Records. Signed with them last year. And is there anything? I think because I came to them, one, as an established artist already and with a whole album finished and paid for, it was like, oh, you have a whole project. And they were like, okay, so what else needs to be done? I was like, well, mixing, mastering, and like the contracts for producers and rare. And so what's interesting, actually, that's a lie. At first I found it hard. It wasn't a power struggle, but because I'd been like looking after me for so long, there were little things where they were like, yo, Bex, like, we've got this, it's cool. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I do have to let go. Okay, let me relax. So that was the only thing, but I quickly got over that once I realised that's their job. Like, they're managing me as well. So it made it easier. Yeah. But shout out Minstrel Records.
You've mentioned it a couple times, so we will now get into it. This your album, Becca. I've said your name thrice. Thrice. Would you like to talk to us about the album, anything pertaining to the album, any drops that we can expect when people are crying out for a crumb of a hint. People are crying out, please, Becca, please, just...
Oh my God.
What's going on?
Not you getting me to laugh, do my ugly laugh on this podcast where I sound like spray bottle. Okay. So Exodus will be dropping this year, 2022.
Amen.
You know what? It was a long process. It was a gruesome process. It was mentally and emotionally exhausting process, but we are here and we are on the cusp of it. Like, it's literally mixing and mastering right now. I don't know when this is dropping. Who knows? It might be done by then. I don't know. But yes, expect singles, expect videos, expect features, expect, in my opinion, my best stuff yet. Every artist kind of says, oh my God, wait, this is, yeah. But honestly, I feel like I've grown so much as a writer. I had the privilege of, bar one song that I got some help with, vocally arranging. Shout out to Olivia Williams. Everything else I got to vocal arrange. All the songs I got to write. So I'm excited for people to hear it. Again, it's been a long road. Like, the fundraiser was 2020 and last year it was back to back to back. So it got to the point where I was like, it's coming. Yeah. Because this process will not be rushed. This mixing and mastering, I don't want it to sound as if when you're driving in your car, you're listening through a can. Yeah. No. It has to be where the vocals are loud and then the bass. Where's the bass? It's not bassing. So we need everything to just be level and done perfectly. But my label have been amazing. Even with getting the right engineer to mix it and master it. I've done bare photo shoots, so even the cover, we're like, what are we gonna do? Yeah. Like, there's too much to pick from, even stuff like that, which is the favor of God. Like, that's all I can say, because it went from me not having a team to even release and not wanting to release the album. I was like, okay, God, if you want this album out, you come down on your white horse and you release it yourself.
Why didn't you want to
Because I'm
release the
stressed. I was stressed. I had to fire my team at that point. Like, it was stress. But he healed me. Amen. And he renewed my heart and my passion. So here we are. And it's coming soon, I promise. I know I've been really testing the patience of the saints. Yeah. But it's coming, I promise.
Thank you. I'm not mad at you again. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ma.
It's coming.
With that, I am pleased that you kind of touched on the care and the attention that you pay to your album naturally, and I've seen you speak about it on socials as well, because I personally feel like that level of attention is not paid across the Christian the music sector. I know you say you don't want to. I think you tweeted. I think you said, you know, you don't want to listen, and like you can hear the producer sipping coke.
Yeah, no.
and it's so because myself, and the reason why you won't see behind the camera, but production is laughing. She's laughing like you're laughing at somebody, because
like I don't want to hear that.
No, because I don't hear that. Because we literally spoke about this. She's in bits. If I had the camera switch on, I'll switch it, because she could be.
Because it's the truth.
No, because we were speaking about this like literally yesterday. And I think that there's, of course, we need people to. We said this on the back of all the Mobo, all the back of all that stuff. It's enough for, you know, us to, as Christians, to, you know, push the music, but at the same time, you know, it's 1+1. Like, there's actually your own role to play, and we were literally saying not too, like, earlier in the week, not too long ago, that you know, we serve a God, like, God actually requires our excellence. Like, he wants our excellence. So why are you delivering something that is subpar? You know, you've said, I'm not going to say the figure, but you mentioned the figure that you said that you have dropped on this Exodus.
20,000.
20,000. So I think there's just a lot to learn there in terms of the care and attention that needs to be paid, and then just even in terms of the rollout and stuff. How do you feel like? Do you feel like there's a? Do you feel like it's all over the place? Like, what do you think needs to change?
Well, like, firstly, I always say that's how much I spent for this project. Don't let that dishearten you and have you believing that every project will cost that much, because it won't. I'd just like to say that there's a specific set of songs that had to be done live. So we had to pay day rates for each musician, each singer, the text, like, so, okay. Yeah. So let me just, you know, make that clear. I believe, and it's such a it's a tiring conversation because people feel as if you're calling them subpar by saying the mix could be better. No, you're sick, babe. You're talented, you're gifted. That's why you're here. And people are streaming. But if a mix or a visual or a lyric video could be stronger, then it can. It's not the greatest. Okay, go back to the drawing board. So the next one will be A1. That's it. Even everything I have out, I'm like, man, if I could go back and remix it or remaster it, I would. Like, we've all had that journey. And with those songs, it's because I rushed it. I rushed the process and I was like, no, I want it out by this time. Like, people ain't going to care no more. And now I listen back, I'm like, and I was talking to one of my OGs in this, a guy called Martin Smith, and he was like, listen, with this album, even if you say to your producers, your label, I need an extra month to redo all the vocals because you're not in love, do it. Or if you want someone to redo guitars, pay for it, do it. Because whatever you release, you need to be in love with. Because when you listen back on release, then you're like, it's bummed out the whole experience for you. Yeah. And this is my first album. Hence me being willing to spend as much as I've spent and go with the singers and the musicians and the producers that I did, because it needs to be A level.
Yeah.
Like, and I realise the importance as a Black Caribbean Christian artist in the UK, what me releasing something great will do for other Black Caribbean and other Black African, other white, other brown, pink, grey, blue, female gospel artists or Christian artists in the UK. If we, who are going before, do not have it patterned, then the next ones coming up will think they can release in the same way. So we need to set the standard, and I believe I'm called to set somewhat of a standard. I'm not the best anything. Like, I will never claim that I just do my thing. Here's my lane, and I walk in it, I run in it, I skip. Sometimes cruel when the season's hard, because life can bring you to your knees sometimes. So that lane, I'm a stick in it, and hopefully it inspires you to stick in yours.
Are there any, off the back of what you said, are there any females that have kind of paved the way for you or have kind of inspired you kind of on your journey? Because as you said, it's not the easiest thing, especially in the particular space that you're in. So
from any country?
Or it can be any country, can be close to home, or far from home, abroad, away.
I really love what Tiana Major 9 is doing. So she's a secular artist. Yes, I listen to secular music. But I really love what she's doing. You know, growing up, we were in the same church.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but just seeing like that full circle, that from the caterpillar to the cocoon to the butterfly, it's like she was just opening up for Jasmine Sullivan on tour.
Yeah.
That is crazy. On Stormzy's album, Sam Henshaw doing Collide on a film soundtrack.
I know she was just on Koji's as well.
Exactly, like, that's a big deal. And just to see her soar is so beautiful. So I'm really, and she's remained authentic, which is why I'm inspired by her journey. And again, she's a Black Caribbean female. So I'm really I take to her because of that. I'm inspired by Coffee's journey as well. Again, authentically her. She's not switching up because there's a demand for her. She's still been Coffee in the joggers, the jeans, like the baggy clothes, dreads, braces, like she's her. And she's flying a flag, doing all these different genres and vibes, but she's a Black Caribbean girl doing it and smashing it. And then outside of that similarity of where we're from and our heritage, I'm inspired by, of course, people like Brandy. I really love Kiera Sheard. I think she's phenomenal.
I second that.
Yeah. She is a walking, living goat, and she's not even done. Like, there's so much more ahead of her. And then guys, men, who inspires me?
The way you said
obviously,
guys, I thought that you were gonna just send or something. I was gonna be
no, men.
Oh, okay.
Men.
Oh.
Sorry, let me change.
Sorry.
Men. No, men. Obviously, my guy called out sick. He's been smashing this, so it's like, if I could just touch the hem, okay, thank you. That'd be great. Back pocket. Who else? I love what Sam Henshaw's doing. I really love this artist called Rags Original. He's sick. Oh my God. He makes me so happy. And I'd say Shaka as well, after seeing him last night. Like, all of these people, and it will change.
Yeah.
If you ask me this question in 4 months, I'll be like, fam? Fam.
Oh, the man.
Who's doing whatever? Oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. Justin Bieber, oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. Maverick, oh my God, I'm so inspired. And it will change, as it does with me. But those guys right now, I'm really loving their stuff and their journey and what they represent. So yeah.
We're going to pivot back to the ladies, one in particular. Thames, you BV'd for her, am I right?
Yes.
How was that experience? Because from looking from the media and stuff, it was looking crazy. But how was that for you from that perspective? How did it come about? And yeah, what was it like for you?
So doing BVs it's not my first time doing BVs.
Yeah.
So I've done BVs for quite a few artists, and with Thames, I've been in the position like, if it's the right gig and the right bag, then I will do it. But I'm not naturally just like really seeking for them.
Yeah.
But when they do come and they're right, like, I'll join, I'll do it. So when again, Olivia Williams, shout out to her, she called me, she was like, what are you doing? Da, 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 da. I was like, oh, I'm free. And then she was like, okay, I need you to do BVs for Thames. I said, She was like, I'm not sure of her music a lot myself, but I said, I am. I am. Yeah, no problem. Just let me know which ones. If Orange was a place, which one we do? Just let me know.
Loved it.
But then there was a scare because I had a TBN recording on one of the days, and she was like, I think that's the day she's not coming, so you should be okay. And then we bless the Lord, it works out. So that was a really fun experience. I knew like the band and the other singer, so it was just vibes, and her management are lovely. She's lovely. Everyone she came with was lovely. Like, so the green room was just vibes. Yeah, man, it was really nice.
Do love that very, very much. So for you, 2022, what can we see from you for the rest of the year? Be that album, be that anything else. What are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, so definitely the album release. Defo want to do like a proper release thing for that, like a release party of some sort. So God willing. I also want to do like a maybe 2-3 city tour of it.
Wow.
In the UK.
Wow.
Just to get the
ginger us.
Yeah,
wow.
just you know, because with every other project I haven't done that, so I want to do. It's my first album as well, like, God, you know. And then I'm also part of an amazing group, how can I forget to mention, called Manor Collective.
Yes, sir.
So we're dropping more singles this year, more visuals this year, documentary this year. We've already met together to write more songs. We've already got another 9 songs in the bag. Listen, MC to the world, yeah? That's that.
The world.
I love my family. What else? I don't know. I'm trying to like up my game on TikTok, so here's to maybe going viral.
Okay.
Maybe. And yeah, that's it. And just seeing my people win. I want like all my friends to win. I just take absolute joy. Angelo. Art by Angelo.
Yeah.
Dreamers Don't Look Down.
Yeah.
He's an amazing artist, musically. Artist as in painting and designing, and he does artwear. He doesn't do a clothing line. This is called artwear.
This is artwear.
Yeah, so take it in. Charcoal grey, quality is qualitying. It's fantastic. So shout out to him. I had to do that quick plug.
Yes,
but
yes,
that's what my 2022 is looking like.
We love that very much. As that pertains to that album release, I will be knocking on your door for that pre-sale media production. We will be going. We'll be in attendance, so it's okay. You'll be seeing us there. That's fine.
Come on.
And then I wanted to close with a bit of the lightheartedness. You have finished Top Boy. I have finished Top Boy. And I wanted you to speak on it because I know you are very opinionated on the series. A couple characters there. So first of all, your faves. Who are your faves on that season? Really and truly, I'm a from Channel 4 Day, so I call it season 4.
Yes, it is season 4.
So it's from season 4.
Yeah.
Who were your standouts? Who did you love and why?
I really enjoy Sully. I really enjoy Kano's acting and just how he depicted Sully. It was so good. Like, and it spins my head every time, and sometimes I smile as I'm watching it, and it's not a funny part or a happy part, but I'm just like, fam, this is P's and Q's Kano. This is Free Wheel Ups Kano. Like, and he's acting as in A grade, went to drama school. Proper. Parents paid thousands.
Proper.
He's a grime MC, a rapper, and he's come and he's smashed it. So Sully, the storyline too, enjoyed it. For all the wrong reasons, I enjoyed Curtis as well. He played a psychopath.
It's not good for the baby.
So well. My Lauren. I said, she's not yours. She's not yours. But even him going down to London, the acting was
actually fantastic.
Superb.
And the thing is, I was watching a clip of him just speaking. The guy's not even. That's how you. Bro, a man, he has one broad Southern England thing, and the way the guy was as scouse as you can.
Scouse, as in born and raised.
And I love it because the way that he was even acting in the thing, I just found that in all these Badman films, the ones that are like the most like calm are the ones that are the baddest. Even when he went to go and say, "Oh, don't go and buy property in Manchester, go and buy Liverpool." Everything calm and just bad them up. I loved it. I just loved that one, obviously for the wrong reasons. And when he was gonna go and catch Lauren in the cab, my heart. I said, if you don't just drive, that taxi driver, I said, if you do
uncle.
Unks. I said unks. I said unks.
But he drove off.
Those two, definitely top 2. And even with Kano, I remember seeing something the other day, and it was like just the multifaceted nature of him, because it's like he used to kick ball for Chelsea Youth Academy, like he used to kick ball for Chelsea. Then all the musician thing that he has got to go and do, and then this one amongst established professionals, like it's really really fab. So those were the top shooters. No pun intended. Who did not bang off for you, and why? Who did you not like, and why?
If I speak to the Pebbles,
hey,
my good sis.
Say what I tell you for idiot.
That man tell me for idiot. I said that accent. I still watch that video and cry with laughter. Because, which is true, that man tell me for idiot. She's meant to be an English girl from the hood. Like, and she sounds like she's from another country trying to be from the hood. So I got my life. She was very stupid. But yeah, that one there. It's more so the character, like the storyline. That one idiot line threw me through a loop. I couldn't focus, but she did a good job at being stupid. She played a stupid girl very well. She played a fool well. Played a fool well. The friend, Tia,
yes.
No, don't need her back. I respect it, but don't recast it. But bless her. She's probably, it was a dream come true.
No, bless her.
But no, thank you. Nope. No, thank you.
I think that's the one question that I'm thinking. That usually with all these things, there's a purpose as to. I know the deeper stories as to maybe her life and all that. But in terms of with the main, there's the producers for that season 4, because I know they're filming in summer. Please, if you're listening, please be guided.
Please, we don't need her back.
Be guided, thank you.
And then I don't know how far from now this is being released, but that ending.
Yeah. To be fair, by the time you can't lie. No, you can. By the time,
Jamie's gone. He even killed his best friend for the shame. And Sully said, I remember.
I don't care.
I'm not the Shane.
Yeah.
Listen, he said, you look at me wrong. When he went to the country, he was like, if you look at me wrong, I swear you're finished. I said, yeah. I said, he looked at you wrong and you even finished him. But in front of the brothers, I was like, oh.
No, man.
Tears. I did tear up. I was like, well, there's that then.
In front of the brothers, that one is season 1 Sully.
Yeah.
Season 1, not season 1 Netflix, season 1 channel.
Sully.
When they were burying man in front of summer house like that, when they were just burying the people, that's proper. And the thing is, I thought, man had the character change, man was on the cover. No, in front of the brothers like that, and he even looked at them in the eye like that and just looks. So that next season we will actually see.
I'm already ready.
I'm already ready. I'm
ready.
I'm already ready. But on that bombshell, that is us for the large part of it. But before you go, I know you said that you want to be TikTok viral, so whether TikTok or whatever, where can we catch you? Where can we keep up with you? All that good stuff.
Yeah, so all platforms at Becca Folkes. That's BECCAFOLKES. There is an E between the K and the S. Some people spell it without. On Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, it's just Becca Folkes, my artist page there. TikTok is Becca Folkes as well. That's it. TikTok, I'm quiet, but I'm trying.
That's fine.
I'm trying to come.
Yeah, guys, don't be too concerned about the surname. By the time you get to the K, you'll see on Insta she's verified. Don't worry. You'll see
Jesus wept. Jesus Christ.
You'll see the tick, so don't worry about that, guys. Don't worry. But nah. On that note, that is us. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having
coming
me.
on. It's been fab. We are that album. That's fine. We will be well.
Appreciate it, man.
It's been fantastic. And yeah, that is us. That's another episode done. So catch up with us at the RGS Podcast on Instagram for content from here, content from elsewhere in the series, and everything else in between. But that's done. So take care. Good vibes. Say less. Don't stress. God bless. Peace.
You are now listening to Redefined Gospel Sounds.
Yo guys, you know what time it is. It's quick fire questions. They're coming Becca's way. She'll answer them the best way that she sees fit. And let's see what we get. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna start. So first one is favorite Bible verse.
It's supposed to be quick. Jesus wept. Ephesians 3:20.
Love that. An artist that you'd like to work with in the future.
Sting.
Okay. Something that you'd like Christians to do better.
Communicate.
Oh, so good. When you speak like that.
Just talk, blood.
So good. When you speak like that. Your favourite song that you've put out so far?
It's not really mine, but I'm on it.
Okay.
Pour it.
Okay.
Fair. Bridge.
Yeah.
Music featuring myself.
And if God was sitting right next to you, what would you ask him?
Where now?
Love that.
Like, where do I go now? What do I do now?
Cool. Thank you.